Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys being here this evening. Special edition show. It is Tuesday, February 25th. This is the second show of the day, and I appreciate you guys being here. The latest news and what this show is going to be about is spring football. The 8-day game is going to be modified. We're going to talk about that. I got a couple other things. I might run through the offensive line for those that missed my early segment during the morning part. So I hope you guys have had an amazing day. This Tuesday is coming in. Next Monday will be Alabama's official spring football practice. And something that we always look forward to in the past. And I want to get your take. I'm going to propose some ideas that I have for this modified spring event. Isn't it crazy how much the world has changed? I mean, shoot, even in like the last 3 seasons, the college football continues to be modified, whether that is the college football playoffs, the transfer portal, NIL, and now these next up on like the chopping block to get canceled is like these spring football games. You know, Texas has already canceled theirs. Steve Sarkisian said it was because they played 30 games in the last 2 seasons, but we really know the reason why people are canceling the spring games. We're going to get into that in just a second. USC canceled theirs, right? I don't know who's going out to watch USC practice. You know, a lot of teams don't have what Alabama has for its A-Day. Like, it is an event here. It is a day that people come together, break bread. It's a big boost for the local economy here in Tuscaloosa. It's a game. It's a game, okay? And last year, it wasn't necessarily a game, but it was still, like, honestly, it was the best. If you were at A-Day last year, who was at A-Day last year? It was honestly the most beautiful day that God could have given you. Like, it was perfect. The weather was perfect. People were out. It was a time of fellowship, right? Andrew's saying the spring games are meaningless, and that's kind of what it's getting to. But what I want to say, and what I think you guys would agree with it, like for Alabama football fans, like it meant something, right? And now that things are changing, and there's particular reasons why. So earlier today, I'm sure you saw Pete Nakos of On3, who does an amazing job. Young guy getting a lot of scoop, really impressive for being as young as he is. I mean, shit, he's doing a great job. Spoke with Coach Kalen Deboer today. And this is the official quote. I'll read that in just a second. But here's kind of the bullet points of what we're going to be talking about. Is the spring event, or whatever it's going to be called, is now April 12th. They're still sticking with that date. It's going to be a modified game. It's really all we know at this point in time. USC, Nebraska, Texas, I think Florida State. Those teams have canceled their spring games. And a lot of the coaches are pointing to tampering, the portal, injuries. Here's the actual quote right here. Let me take this off right here so you can see it. I think I can go full screen on this. So this is from Pete Nakos of On3. Coach Kalen Deboer says, "We certainly understand the impact that putting things out there in front of the whole world to see what that can do, especially related to the transfer portal. Whether it's guys in, guys out, I get all that. And I know there's a different reasons for different programs." That's Deboer talking to Pete Nakos of On3. You know, look, I don't know if this means that spring football games are canceled forever, but right now, until this spring football window is closed, it makes a lot of sense not to show your number ones and your number twos how good these guys are for people just to sit back and watch on ESPN and then poach 3 days later on April 15th. Like, stop. So I get it. It hurts because we do look forward to. I liked it when, honestly, I liked it when it was a game. I really did. I liked it when you had, remember the whole thing? This is so crazy. Like, remember we were playing for, it was beans and weenies and the other team would get steak? That doesn't exist no more. It's like things are changing. But you got to protect your squad. You got to protect your guys. And right now, they're being tampered. And let's just say some of these guys go out there and it's always, so I don't think it's going to, before we get to that, I think what's going to happen, they're going to do a modified type event. And I promise you, they probably don't even know. I'm sure over the next week or two, the higher-ups at the University of Alabama are going to get with the coaches, and there's going to be a think tank group to figure out what they can do to still have that kind of feel for Alabama football. like during the springtime. It's a time of you look, people, Coach Kalen Deboer still is in his early infancy stage as a head football coach here. He still needs to continue to build relationships with just the fans. That's what that open period tells you to do. Here are my ideas, okay? Look, I'm a itty bitty. I'm literally the smallest content creator, out here. I don't work for an organization. I am who I am. These are my ideas. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm proposing, okay? Turn this into the best event in college football. Have the event at night, right? Figure out whatever you can do to like boost up sales for Yay Alabama or however they want to do that. Have like the fastest player. Have like 2 players or have like the fastest offensive lineman. Have like 2 guys race, right? Like, let's just see. Have the coaches race. Something like that, okay? Have the New Wave podcast right on the 50-yard line. Have Ryan Williams and Jalen Mbakwe interview different players, interview some coaches, interview like some super fans, right? You want to get Roll Tide Willie out there, roll him out. You want to honor the basketball team that maybe just won the national championship a couple days after. Have them up on the podium and have Ryan Williams as the main MC running the whole thing. You want to put him, nobody else would be doing this. And you'd have it at night. You could still have the local impact on the economy here at Tuscaloosa, right? You introduce all the players, right? I don't know. You do something like that. And then at the end of the night, you have everybody sing Dixieland Delight together. And you continue to build the community. That's what I would propose. Good idea? Yes or no? Thumbs up if you think so. I would go to that. Right? They could do something like that. They could make it a community style event to continue to build like the camaraderie that I think fans are still deserving of. Like, I know like Ole Miss, would they have like a hot dog eating contest and a slam dunk or whatever? I don't know. You know what's crazy though? Remember, like I used to look forward to like the Pro Bowl. That got canceled. Spring games were dope. Now these are kind of becoming obsolete. I don't know. It's just this is the world that we live in. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is protecting your players. This quote says it all. We certainly understand the impact that putting things out there in front of the whole world to see what that can do. Here's a couple of negatives. If you have this spring game, right? You have a game, you showcase your guys, and let's face it, I don't know, I'm sure this exists. But some of these players are going to get pissed off because they're going to think of the spring depth chart and they're going to be like, I'm not going to play here. And then someone's going to slide into their DMs and be like, hey, you're not going to play at Alabama. Look, they didn't even utilize you in a spring game. Come over here. Or if you really want to get into the weeds, you could say the quarterbacks, right? You name a quarterback in springtime, well, 3 days later in the transfer portal, someone's knocking on the door of Keelan Russell or Ty Simpson or someone like that. That's why. So you got to protect your team. So nobody, you're going to start seeing a lot of these programs that are not having a day. I don't know. It sucks. It really does because I like day. It was a good time. What kind of idea? Yeah, Hunter saying, what's up, Hunter Savage? I didn't even say what's up to some of you guys. Jarvis, what's up, man? Thanks for double dipping. Josh Miller, what's going on, man? Jonathan Fillmore, I see you inside the comment box. Skylar Cook, Jay Beck, Daniel Adams, Alex Wilder. What's up, man? Patriot Live coming in. What's up, man? Adam East. Hunter Savage. I just think, look, I understand it. It probably makes sense to not have, like, the actual game and stuff, whatever. It just feels like the college football that we were in love with, it's just changing, and we're losing some things that were made college football iconic. It was. And this is the wild, wild west there. Like you're saying, Jarvis, this is it, man. Like, things are changing, and you're having to modify to protect your team. Bama Jeff, what's up, man? Robert Hell, I see you inside the comment box. So, is it sad? No. It sucks. But you move on. And I'm sure that the University of Alabama being kind of, out in front of college football, they'll be able to figure out a way to still make this an event worth going to. And I'm sure that Yay Alabama will be kind of the main focal point. That might be their whole focus. Who knows? Maybe only Yay Alabama members get to go to the game. I don't know. So, or the event or something like that. It might be for that. Who knows? Because they're trying to pump that thing up as much as possible. Josh Miller points out they forget that Bama is made of mostly low-income fans. Not only that, but it's like that is really the only time that some people ever get to come into Bryant-Denny Stadium. I think, what were they charging, like $5 last year? Maybe they're like, hey, we can get people in at a baseline Yay Alabama and, boost subscription sales. I have no idea. I would imagine, though, maybe spring football comes back, but I think what will happen is it'll go more to like OTAs like the NFL has it. I think there'll only be one transfer portal window next year, and I think that it'll change. And Daniel Adams, I don't think it's Coach Kalen Deboer at all. I don't think he's making a lot of decisions at Alabama. I think this is kind of what's happening, and they're probably, he's probably talking with people, and they're probably like, look, it doesn't make sense. So John Martin's like, best keep A-Day the way it is. Man, I'm telling you, if you went to A-Day last year or the years prior, it was fantastic. It's like a celebration of just fans coming together. That's how it always is. All right. So these are my ideas one last time. Have like the fastest player, do something cool, have the New Wave podcast, have Ryan Williams emceeing, running the whole thing, keep his face on the screens the entire time. Him and Jalen Mbakwe, introduce all the players, sing Dixieland Delight together, build the community. All right. A couple things also in the news. I appreciate you guys being here. You guys see this? Did you see that Drake Kirkpatrick Jr.? Remember, this happened after the Oklahoma game. A fan who's 18 years old ran onto the field, okay? And something happened. He's claiming that Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. hit him, and he's suing Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., okay? I didn't see a lot after that. But according to Tuscaloosa News, Kirkpatrick's attorney, Ryle Dellings, right, filed a response on Monday denying the allegation. The response states that Kirkpatrick felt threatened under the circumstance and was acting in self-defense. The response also points out Moxley's presence on the field after the game was unlawful. This comes down to the whole storming the field, storming the court. And I was thinking about this, and I say this many times. Look, that's also kind of a part of college football, but now that the players are all millionaires, right, because of their NIL deals, what happens when like a group of fans, a group of whoever targets some of these players? All these players don't have security detail like the head football coaches. So they could go out and be like, hey, let's start a fight with Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., get beat up, and then we could sue him. I'm not saying that the kid did it, but you could see that more and more. That's another repercussion. Plus, like, don't storm the field. If you storm the field, if you've ever been on a field that's stormed, it's completely chaos. And if someone comes at you, I don't know. So, another weird piece of news that's out there. But if you want to feel old, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. Is here at the University of Alabama. Ebony Carter says, millionaires, I wish. But they're getting paid. A lot of those guys are getting a lot of money. It's crazy. There was reports that Justice Haynes to leave to Michigan is getting like $500,000 just for one season. It would be amazing to see. And this House versus NCAA, like here in July 1, how they distribute that money to the players. Man, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. Because now the players are going to be able to get paid, right, from the university. And then on top of that, they're going to be able to get NIL as well. Jarvis asking if I'm going to do basketball watch-alongs for football. Maybe so. I think the basketball games are so entertaining to watch just by itself. I've thought about like post games and stuff like that. Maybe for the NCAA basketball tournament, we'll mess around with that. It's just I can't compete with like TV. All right. I'm going to run through this one more time for the people who didn't see it. Today we're doing our spring football preview. So we talked about the offensive line and tight end. So if you've seen some of this information earlier today, I appreciate you guys getting inside the comment box. Let me know what you think about the offensive line. I won't spend too much time on it, and also talk about the tight ends. Tomorrow I'll be talking about the defensive line and the bandit position, and then on Thursday, linebackers in the wolf position, and then on Friday we'll do secondary and special teams. And then, of course, here at 8 p.m. you have Alabama taking on Mississippi State in basketball. The champ, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Thanks for being here. Same to you, Ebony Carter, and the champ, and Bo Rowland, everybody else inside the undefeated. What's up? I appreciate you guys rocking with me here on Tuesday night. Yeah, T's around, but it's mostly just, it's 100% just me. So the Alabama offensive line, here are the key points. You got 3 returners. You lose Tyler Booker and Elijah Pritchett. The biggest question mark is clearly the right tackle position. Who will have a breakthrough season, and Michael Carroll Watch in terms of coming back as a freshman, right? So Tyler Booker, gigantic loss. He'll probably be a first-round guy in the NFL. And then you look at Elijah Pritchett. He transferred to Nebraska. I mean, you lose him, but the guy behind him couldn't beat him out, and that's the guy that's going to be a starter. So that's why we have an issue at the right tackle position. Plus, Alabama really hasn't had time, or maybe they have, or maybe they haven't found who they wanted to go into the right tackle to bring them here. You lost a bunch of tackles, right? You lost Miles McVay, right? You lost Ben Trade. And you lost Elijah Pritchett. So. And we'll talk about who will have a breakthrough as well. Now, starting out, the 3 returners that you do have, right? Parker Brailsford had a fantastic season, way better than I thought he'd have last year. 6'2", 290 pounds. Redshirt junior, started all 13 games, second team All-American, 82.1 pass blocking grade. I didn't know he'd be that good. He was fantastic, came from Washington, and the guy didn't miss a beat from the Joe Moore Award team, right? I mean, the guy was fantastic. I thought he'd be undersized. I was complaining about him not being 300 whatever pounds. He was fantastic. You also have Caden Proctor, 6'7", 369 pounds. I don't think he's this weight anymore. I would imagine that once Alabama updates the Titan weight, it's a little bit lower. Started 11 games last year, missed a couple. I think it was a labrum that he had, 639 snaps, 54 total knockdowns, 90.0 grade in terms of pass blocking against Georgia, and 73.0 pass blocking overall, right? You also have Jaden Roberts coming back. I saw the University of Alabama posted a nice photo of him on its official fourth quarter social media page. Jaden Roberts comes back, 6'5", 310 pounds. He's a redshirt senior this year, right? Started 12 games, 71% run block grade. Needs to have a big year, 100%. And the guy was banged up. He was injured. You guys knew. Hey, GSP Scott, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. GSP Scott says inside the comment box, Juice turned in. They don't need a televised A-Day game if they want to keep the roster intact. Yeah, I think they'll just have to figure out, just like the type of event or modification. I mean, we don't know what will happen. Ebony points out that Parker Brailsford from Arizona. There's another guy from Arizona too, right? I think do we have 4 guys from Arizona or 2? Kimberly, what's up? Appreciate you being here. You also have Wilkin Formby, and all eyes are going to be on Formby this year. Talked about this morning, right? How is he going to improve this year? I'm really, really hoping that this guy has an absolute breakthrough. I want to cheer for this guy. I want to be supportive of him because he's a local product. I think he's a good kid. If he can be the guy and come with it, then let's go. If he's not, I'm concerned about who's going to be behind him. Maybe they slide Michael Carroll over. Maybe Jackson Lloyd comes through and starts. I don't know. But I'm really hoping that things go well for him. I really am, honestly. J-Beck asks, Kyle, what have you heard about Grubbs' contract being only 1 year? I didn't hear any of that. I'm sure that he's going to get a lot of questions when he rolls up to Tuscaloosa, whenever that is, and he has to talk to the media. I'm sure they're going to be asking him maybe about – I don't know if they'll ask him about family stuff. I don't know. Be like, how's your family liking it in Tuscaloosa? I don't know. That's probably the way that you would word it if you were going to ask him about that sort of stuff. I don't know how long his contract is. I don't know how much he'll be paid. I would imagine he's paid like 2.5 or something like that, $3 million. Right? He's not coming over here for less than 2.5. What? Steve Sarkisian was making like 2.3 here. He's going to make more than Steve Sarkisian. I still can't believe that Ryan Grubb was coming. I didn't think that was going to happen. Here's the offensive line. You have 16. You got Cam Dewberry up at the top left. You got Arkell Newgum. Those two guys were transfers in. From what we understand, it doesn't seem like Arkell Newgum is close to being able to start. Somebody pointed out today on our show that he has 10-inch hands and that he can – is that true? Could he palm a bowling ball? Someone said that earlier. And then Cam Dewberry started – at Texas A&M. He allowed like 1 sack and like 600 snaps. People excited about that. I am too, to be honest. Grubb was making 2.2 at Washington. Jay Bake has him at 140 a month. That's a lot of cheddar. Caden Proctor, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts. We talked about those guys as well as Wilcom Formby. Look at all the sophomores. You got Olas Allen and Joseph Ionita, Rock Montgomery, Casey Poe, William Sanders. Does anybody think inside the comment box that maybe Geno Vandermark starts at guard? I don't think so. I think he's just a quality reserve. That's something that I'm sure the team reporters will be watching is who's going to be the first 5 that are starting. And just because they start during this spring period doesn't mean really anything. Things can change by the season. But I don't think he's going to be starting. If I had to go with the starters, I'd probably put it something like this. Caden Proctor, Cam Dewberry, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, and then Wilcom Formby on the right. The reserves, I guess, Formby, Michael Carroll, Rock Montgomery, Geno Vandermark, and maybe Jackson Lloyd at that second team tackle. Or you could put Carroll at right tackle. Maybe move some guys around. Geno Vandermark, I think, could play left guard, right guard. I don't know. The biggest thing is, like, after, like, how does Keelan Russell look and what's the development of Wilcom Formby is how does Michael Carroll look? Invest is saying Dewberry not starting. See, I was kind of interested, too, because, look, if you look at Dewberry, and so the top number right here is the pass blocking grade, and the bottom is the run. Yo, Invest, I've been wondering about Dewberry as well, but everybody else in the undefeated, in you know, people talk, they're like, Dewberry starting. I'm like, I don't know. These Pro Football Focus grades. But then someone pointed out that Cole Kublik said that he don't like Pro Football Focus grades. I don't know. It's just, it's data points. Good. I don't know. Really good. Injured. Hopefully much better. And I don't know. I mean, right now, if you send this offensive line out against an elite SEC team, I think you have issues. You have probably issues against South Carolina with this offensive line. That's just facts. But that's kind of, I think, projections have the offensive line something like this. All right. Look at the tight end room real quick. I'm not going to be here too long. Yo, I go to bed super early. It's crazy. The basketball game being on at 8, I get up so early. Man, sleep is currency at this age, man. I'm telling you. Oh, man. All right, so you got Danny Lewis, Josh Cuevas, Jay Lindsey, Caleb Edwards, and Marshall Pritchett. I've talked up Danny Lewis a lot. He didn't really get, on the field much last season. Hit the transfer portal, pulled his name out of the transfer portal. Big dude, 6'5", 250 pounds. And then you have Josh Cuevas, who I think should have a really good season. I think he's going to be utilized a lot. I kind of set the over-under in terms of catches, probably at 30 for Josh Cuevas. I think he'll be used plenty. I think he'll In the sets, if you go back and watch 2023 Washington, 2022 Washington, they were able to use a lot of different variations of a 4 wide receiver set, but their 4th wide receiver was a tight end. Owen just checking in and say, did A-Day game get canceled? So the A-Day game isn't canceled. What they're saying right now, and kind of that was the meat of the beginning of the show, is it's just, all they said was modified. Nobody knows at this point in time how it will be modified. I'm sure they're probably trying to figure out what they can do to get people at the game and still, make it something. I'm saying have it at night. A lot of people coming in, BOG. Let me go back to the beginning and then I'll come back on the tight ends because it looks like we're having some people just check in. All right, so the skinny on this whole A-Day situation is the spring game, and this is coming from Pete Nakos of On3, spoke to Coach Kalen Deboer earlier today. The A-Day game is scheduled for April 12th. Nothing has changed with that. They're still going to have, that's the date. Now, it's going to be modified. We don't know what that means. It was modified last year. It was kind of like a practice. I think what he's concerned about is the same thing that USC, Nebraska, Texas, and Florida State. These guys have canceled their game because of tampering. Now, in a quote with Pete Nakos, Coach Kalen Deboer, I'll read it one more time. There's people checking in. We certainly understand the impact that putting things out there for the whole world to see what that can do, especially related to the transfer portal. Think about this. Alabama's A-Day game, April 12th, the transfer portal window, April 15th. So I think if you're wondering about what's going on, I think it tells you right there. You just don't want to showcase even your reserves, right, and have those guys get picked apart. So April 12th, they still have something. I'm sure the University of Alabama will send out a release on exactly what they want to do. Hey, InvestB, I'll get Peter on this. The transfer tight end, I guess. Is he like a scholarship guy? I might have missed him. If I have like omissions or whatever, just post it inside the comment box and I'll clean it up as we go. Jarvis with the super chat. I appreciate it, man. That's what's up. Thank you so much. Did you see where the comment where some coach said that if you are not tampering, you are not doing a service to your team? Like if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Look, I mean, this is like, I think you said it inside the comment box, man. This is the Wild West. Until there are like clear boundaries and like harsh penalizations for doing tampering, people are going to do it. And I think it works both ways. Look, thanks, Invest. I appreciate that, bro. Think about this, okay? It works both ways. We knew before anybody else that we knew this. We knew that Isaiah Horton was coming to Alabama before he was even in the transfer portal. You see what I'm saying? How does this start? Well, somebody on the inside lets things leak out. I mean, come on. So I think it's working both ways. Tampering is happening. Remember when Caden Proctor just openly admitted that he was tampered with last year by Iowa? They sent him a DM and they were like, yo, keep your head up. So here's your tight ends real quick. You got Danny Lewis. I talked about him, 6'5", 260 pounds. I've seen him go up and make a catch. Didn't he make a catch during A-Day or one of the scrimmages for like a touchdown? He's got some athleticism in him. I'd like to see him maybe drop a little bit of weight. He looked a little bit slow to me on some of the clips, but again, I'm not at practice, so I have no idea. Hopefully, I still have a lot of excitement for Danny Lewis, honestly. I always have. You watch my videos for years past, I'm always talking him up. Josh Cuevas, pleasant surprise. I mean, what he did last year, I loved it, right? 6'3", 251 pounds. He'll be a redshirt senior. Played in all 13 games. Only 218 yards, but he did make some big plays. He got a nice touchdown against Wisconsin and also caught a nice long, deep ball against Mercer. So I would venture to say I'm putting it at 30 catches over for Josh Cuevas this coming season. I think Alabama fans are excited about Josh Cuevas. And I pointed this out earlier. I just don't think that Alabama has had a truly dynamic tight end since Irv Smith Jr. I really don't. I think all of them have been kind of mid-range guys. I mean, Kalen Deboer, I think he caught 8 touchdowns, but he wasn't a true tight end. CJ Dupree was pretty good, kind of like a serviceable player, and I don't mean that in like disrespect, but like there's a big difference between a tight end like Brock Bowers, somebody who's like a game changer. Alabama hasn't had a game changer at the tight end position. I'm completely like 100% on that. But this is your tight end room: Danny Lewis, Josh Cuevas, Jay Lindsey, Caleb Edwards, and Marshall Pritchett. Caleb Edwards, another guy out of the state of California, and then Marshall Pritchett. I think he had a collarbone, but he should be fine. Bama Nation 334 is saying O.J. Howard. Yeah, that seems to be like the best tight end, and then after that, maybe Irv Smith. And I guess maybe like Miller Forrestall or Cam Latu. I don't know. Since I've covered the team since 2017, I really haven't seen a lot of like dominating tight ends here. And I'm always hyping him up. I'm always like, Amari Niblack, gonna be this guy. He didn't do anything. He transferred out. Jaleel Billingsley. He didn't do anything. So, but I'm pretty confident that Josh Cuevas will have a really, a really solid year, and I think Ryan Grubb will be able to get him the football. But that's your Tuesday night show. I know you guys have, we have the Alabama basketball game against Mississippi State, so I know you guys have to tighten up for that. I hope you guys have had a fantastic night. I hope you were able to, break some bread with your family, have a restful, peaceful evening. And we'll see what happens with A-Day. I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. But as news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Before you go, I just want to tell you that I am truly thankful for your continued support on the channel. Efron, we just had a show talking about A-Day and kind of like the modifications that could happen. You can hit the rewatch. But enjoy the basketball game. Enjoy this beautiful evening. Enjoy your beautiful life. Get some beautiful rest. Aliens college football. No, Niblack, remember he transferred to Texas. I don't think he did much at Texas either. And Isaiah Horton is here. Isaiah Horton transferred from Miami to Bama. Yeah, so Efron, basically, Coach Kalen Deboer just said, the short story to this whole video is Coach Kalen Deboer said that there's going to be a modification to A-Day. He didn't really go into it, and he said just because of basic, like, tampering. We saw it coming. I'm glad they didn't, like, cancel it, though. Yeah, Roy, yeah, where did he go, Roy? Amari Niblack, where did he? Oh, oh my God, he's at Texas A&M. That's right. Yeah, so he went from Bama to Texas. Thank you. I knew that. He's a portal surfer. Oh, all right. Okay, fam. I'm out. I've had a long day, and I know you guys have had to. Enjoy your basketball game coming up at 8 p.m. Alabama taking on Mississippi State. The last game was great. That little point guard that Mississippi State has is ferocious. No, Alien College Football, the portal's closed. It opens up again on April 15th. Mavs and the Lakers tonight? Oh, my God. There's so much going on. That's going to be a hell of a reunion. For Luca, right? Dustin, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Thanks for being here, bro. All right, fam. You know where to find me. 10 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday. Same place, same time. Bama Football on YouTube. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Be good people. Enjoy the basketball game. And roll tide. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. See you, fam.